Hello, today I have a much different challenge than usual. It's on resort this time, and the challenge is just to beat chimps with as many abilities as possible. So for this, the objective is pretty clear. I'm going to be getting as much ability towers as possible, specifically the cheaper ones, because we can just get a mass quantity of them. So I decided to start out with the 030 attack shooter because it can save quite a lot of money, specifically because this map is so long, and also because the map is really long. I decided to do a lot of cuts so it's not like a 30-minute long video. And then after that, I decided to grade 2 discounts early. I thought that was the most. And also there's this really funny thing with abilities, if you did not know. The ability bar gets pushed down instead of not showing when you hit the not show ability button. I don't know, it's just pretty weird. Might as well show that. But anyways, going back to the run, with the 2 discounts I graded, I went for the turbocharge, and then I also went to a waft. This will basically do all the damage you need for quite some time, as well with the Zeely in support. Because it's a resort, it's just really easy. So you don't really have to buy the cross paths and worry. So I'm just trying to optimize the cheapest towers to buy. And there are a lot of cheap abilities, but there are also some really expensive ones, and you're going to run out of cheap ability towers before you get to the expensive ones. So I kind of needed a little bit of time to plan out. So that's that. And then for decamo, I decided to just get a submerged and support sub. That's really all you need for that, and that will beat a lot of these rounds fine. I'm getting Skybird, Turbocharge, Maelstrom, and then we'll come back later. So I wasn't lying when I said these basic towers can go really far, and we have $25,000 left over, so let's see what we can buy. I went for the Assassin, another really cheap ability, and then I went for a kind of odd one, Jungle's Bounty. This doesn't really do much for damage-wise and usefulness, but I'm getting it just because it's a cheap ability and we have to fulfill the ability requirements. I get Transforming Tonic, another relatively cheap one, and I get a more expensive one, which is Dark Knight. The reason why I went for this one is because we kind of do need the damage eventually, so I might as well get it sooner than later. And also, when we could go a bit later on, the Dark Knight is it actually going to be kind of one of the cheaper ability towers that we would have left to buy, so I ended up just going for it. It works out pretty well with the discounts. On 75, Zeely's abilities are coming in clutch here, which is nice. We also have another big wad of cash, and I go for a Chinook, also another pretty expensive one, but this one you get 2 abilities, which is really nice, so it's not as expensive as it looks. Going into the 80s, I decided to get a few more abilities. I went for Artillery Battery, pretty strong. Rocket Storm, also pretty strong. And then going into the 90s, I decided to get a few more ones. We're getting Glue Strike. This one will be particularly useful for the DDTs. Actually, I don't know if I did use it for DDTs, I forgot. But the Sabo we got, that's definitely very useful for DDTs. I also decided to Chinook the turbocharge out of the way so I could fit a Crown Zero in there. That one is basically needed to clean up because we don't really have a lot of cleanup towers in here. Then I'm getting a Spike Storm for round 100. So basically, this combination is all of the towers that we need to theoretically win the game, and with the rest of the money I'm just going to kind of frantically get any abilities that are remaining. Now I do have a lot of abilities, but as you can notice I'm not really using a whole lot of them, which is kind of funny. I usually have way less abilities, normally like 3 or 4 abilities at most, so just having this much abilities is quite overwhelming to look at, and you're like, you're thinking, oh, I should use this one, but you end up clicking like 5 different ones trying to click the one you're trying to click, which is funny. So I just like spam the abilities at times, not really thinking when to use it, and we do pretty much have more than enough firepower, because at the end of the day, there's still a lot of towers that do a pretty decent amount of damage here. I'm going to be ending with a bit of cash left over. I had this much cash just in case if I needed to actually buy something. I was highly confident that I didn't though, but just to be safe I did that. And then at the end of round 100 or round 99, I ended up buying a bit. So the GZ, it's really good at cleaning a bunch of stuff up. The Azalea's abilities are also really good too. The Moab Hex, it cuts down a lot of pierce. So I got a bunch of random towers. The Hook, the Overclock, Snowstorm, and that is pretty much all you need to beat Chimps in a very ridiculous way. It might be possible to get another ability or two if you find a better way to budget money. If somebody does, that would be really cool. You could send it to me on Discord, and that is that. Goodbye.